see, we can be happy again. The Leafs win. We don't have to be sad today. This doesn't have to be a sad stream. Everyone, the Leafs actually won a game. But before we get into everything, before we get into all that, I just want to acknowledge Kyle Beach. For those who don't know, 11 years ago, Kyle Beach was sexually assaulted by a former team, by a former coach on the Chicago Blackhawks. 11 years ago, he came out recently with Rick Westhead, told his story tonight, came on TSN, poured his heart out. I just want to say you're a hero for everyone who's going through being raped or sexually assaulted. I just want to say you're an inspiration. That is so tough to do. That's a really hard thing to do what you did. You're a real inspiration to everyone. Don't feel like you failed anyone. What you did today was truly inspirational. You're a hero to a lot of people. And even though your story is unfortunate and very, very sad, the steps that you took today to not only end the stigma, to end all the controversy, you came out, you spoke your truth, you got to tell your side of the story. Don't be ashamed of that. You're a hero to a lot of people. And I just want to say, as a hockey fan, thank you for coming out. Thank you for telling your story. Thank you for giving an eye to what happened. And let's hope that this never happens again. Let's hope that that's in the past. And because of your inspiration and because of your courageous effort to come out, let's hope that we can move past this and hockey can be a safer game for everyone involved. But so thank you, Kyle Beach. But anyways, let's get into the game. First period notes. This is obviously a bit of a different game because the Blackhawks coming out of this allegation versus the Leafs, who were trying to find their confidence back. And they sort of did, but we get into the first period. It was kind of a slow start. Like a lot of the games happened. It was very slow. The Leafs really, early on, didn't have a lot going. The Leafs took a penalty first. Again, I wasn't really happy with that. The Blackhawks ended up scoring on that power play. Kirby Dach got an awesome deked out Jake Muzzin. Got an awesome shot on net. And the Blackhawks went up 1-0 with their first lead of the season. And it was I thought, oh boy, the Blackhawks have something to play for tonight with all this allegations and all what's going on. They feel like that team, even though they're struggling too, they hadn't won a game yet. You felt like they were going to come out on fire, and they sort of did. They came up with this way of they're going to win this game. I thought they're going to play well tonight, knowing what had happened earlier on in the day. You felt like maybe they were going to come out and play well, and they did. In these first few minutes, the Blackhawks were all over the Leafs. The Leafs then responded with the $30 million line, which was Tavares, Matthews, and Marner all on the same line. And nothing happened with that. Shortly after that happens, the Blackhawks scored again. Seth Jones made a laser pass to Alex DeBrincat off of really realizing there was a bad line change. It goes in all alone and makes it 2-0. And as a Leafs fan, I'm sitting there like, oh, okay, we're struggling and they're struggling and we're down 2-0. This is great. I feel like the dog in the room. Like I felt like, okay, here we go. I'm going to be coming on here not knowing what to say. But this is when Keith finally changes the lines. He finally takes his friend, the Matthews' buddies away, which I thought was actually a smart decision. He finally says, okay, you know what? If you're not going to play and you guys are going to put things together, I'm going to take this Marner-Matthews line away. Excuse me. And I'm going to give it to, I'm going to give Marner Tavares back, and I'm going to give you Bunting and Nylander, which is something I thought they should have done for a while. If it's something it's a good change they made. You noticed it really fast. Tavares early on in this game was like I made a joke. He's like, "Where's Waldo?" It was kind of hard to find him on the ice lately. He wasn't making a little bit of impact. The Leafs didn't actually play a terrible first period, even though they didn't really generate a lot of things. It was shots were still 11-10. Um, Second period, the Leafs took another early penalty early on, but killed it off. And then finally, John Tavares gets on the board for the Toronto Maple Leafs, assisted by Mitch Marner and Morgan Riley. The old line connection. Tavares gets his second goal, and the Leafs are down by one. Leafs actually had a really good second period. They actually got a power play late, but after a late hit, and they didn't really generate. Again, the power play really wasn't strong tonight. Then the Leafs took a late penalty as we headed into the third. Again, a lot of back and forth play. There wasn't really a lot of domination. It was more like second period was kind of back and forth with a lot of good chances from the Blackhawks, a lot of good chances from the Leafs. I said I'd only wear my Leafs jersey when they win, and they won. So we're going to get into that. The third period, they at least had an early power play. They didn't score again. At least we're 0 for 3 for the power play, but we'll get into that. Jack Campbell, man. He's not the first start tonight. Made some amazing saves for the Leafs, man. Made an amazing save off Alex DeBrincat, and then DeBrincat got another amazing pass over to one of his wingers and just made another save. Just kept rubbing the Hawks to keep them in, and I think that's what the Leafs needed. The Leafs needed a night. The Leafs needed a night where where Jack Campbell was sort of on fire. He needed a game. They needed a game for them, and they kind of got it from Jack Campbell tonight. If anything was good, that was the one takeaway, was just Jack Campbell kept them in this game. Jack Campbell was the player of the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Then with 7 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, David Camp, who actually is a former Blackhawk player, scores for the Leafs off a really weird shot. And the Leafs, for the first time in a while, have tied a game. And they feel like they're actually not out of it yet. The Leafs got another power play. Again, another chance to really get that third goal and get the confidence, but they weren't able to get that power play going tonight. I'd like to see the power play mixed up. If we could change it up a little bit just to make it feel more threatening. But there was no scoring after that. And then finally, we went into overtime, little back and forth, and William Nylander gets in all alone, and he scores. And the Leafs win. A big game for them tonight, even though this is not the game that, there's some underlying stories here for sure. But the Leafs come away with the win. And it's a breath of fresh air for them. I'm sure they're feeling a lot better tonight than they have been. I just think that maybe that's the start they need. Maybe that's what gets the Leafs' confidence going. I really hope so, man. I mean, I know it's not perfect. I know this isn't exactly the game that, like I said, there's an underlying story tonight with the game, but they pull it off, man. They were down 2-0. They fought back. They tied it, and William Nylander gets the game-winning goal. Awesome. They at least played pretty well compared to how they played with that back-to-back from San Jose and Pittsburgh. And what we saw against Carolina, this was definitely a better game. This was by far this was more comparable to me to the game against the Rangers, where there was a lot of back and forth, wasn't perfect. The offense still hasn't really scored a lot, but 3 goals tonight, I think that's a positive. Tavares on the board. Nylander gets another goal. That's what we need to see. We need to see production from Tavares, production from Matthews, production from Marner. These are the guys that need to come play every night. And if they can come play every night, the Leafs can win games. I said this before, and that's why it's frustrating when they lose, because I know they can do better than this. And tonight was a night where they showed with just with some effort, with playing properly, getting chances, the Leafs can come away with a win. And even though it was ugly and it wasn't exactly the best game to win, they still got the win tonight. They can still walk out of that building with 2 points. And they play on Detroit on Saturday. That's going to be a tough game because I feel like Detroit, even though they're not the best team right now, even though the Red Wings aren't a powerhouse right now, excuse me. Yeah, the Red Wings are just a really good team right now. They got some young prospects. They got some good goaltending from Alex Nedeljkovic. I feel like the Detroit Red Wings could be a test for the Leafs this Saturday. They get to come home. The Leafs get to come home. They're on a little bit of a homestand for the next 4 games. And we'll see on Saturday night if the Leafs can truly rebound and get this season back underway, back from the negative, back from everybody like me being negative on them. Can they turn it around? We'll see on Saturday night when they face the Detroit Red Wings. It's a quick review. Again, thanks for tuning in, whoever tuned in. We'll see you Saturday night. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you Saturday night on Hockey Night in Canada.